We're here at Teakdecking to talk to some of their employees, managers, and executives about why a career in manufacturing might be a good choice. Now, obviously, there's a lot going on around me, and their employees here have the opportunity to check out each department before they finalize their job. They have over 100 employees and a facility both here in Sarasota and in Spain. They have the unique opportunity to outfit the world's most luxurious super yachts across the world, between Singapore and the Galapagos, with their team traveling to both first measure the floors and do the final install after building here in their Sarasota facility or in Spain. Now this sounds pretty cool. Let's get curious and find out more.
How I got started in this business, I went to college for 2 years and decided that really wasn't for me. So I went to a technical school for marine engineering, marine propulsion, with an aspiration of getting into the maritime side and running offshore tugs on the eastern seaboard. In that, I had the opportunity to meet the senior vice president of Sea Ray Boats at the time. His son was a student of mine. I was an ad hoc instructor in a diesel lab. And through meeting him, it gave me an opportunity, once I graduated, to go to work in the domestic production boat market. And I started with Sea Ray right out of technical school and worked my way up into their engineering department. And really the rest is history. I stayed with them for about 16 years and ran primarily engineering groups, or started engineering groups for them, and I did run a few boat plants for them. The trades has been something that I think has been neglected for probably the last 10, 20 years. The trades can lead to so many different things. I started in the trades. I started working in boatyards and marinas when I was in high school through college, and it led me to where I am today. So to think getting involved in the trades, that's a dead end, it's not a dead end. It's only going to be what you make it. Here at Teakdecking, as a manufacturer of teak decks and composite decks, we also have an opportunity for especially young people that don't have families yet to travel the world, to digitize decks where we're digitally capturing the deck and then bring it into CAD, or installing. We have an installation team that travels the globe. And a lot of people have come here and have worked their way through the trim floor to learn our process, have jumped out on the installation team, and have traveled the globe and seen some of the most beautiful places in the world. As we're building teak decks for super yachts are primarily in beautiful places in the world. So as we go to the next generation in this industry, we're really looking for people that have a great attitude and a willingness to learn.
My name is August Birgir Augustsson, and I'm one of the production managers at Teakdecking. I manage a handful of people to building teak decks for smaller boats from 20 footers till 40 footers. Then we do a lot of specialty parts such as compass roses, gratings that go on the larger mega yachts. I didn't even speak the language when I started here. I kid you not. Really? I barely spoke the language. I'm from overseas myself. I came straight from technical school to the market in framing and detail work. So no manufacturing work before that at all. So that's my first one. And I've been doing it for 25 years. My plan was basically working whatever. It wasn't nothing nailed down. It's kind of just happened. Came working here back in the 90s, and we did work on, mostly working on cruise ships, traveling around the world, installing and refurbishing floors. Then early 2000, I came back here and started working in the shop. It kind of grew on me, and I've been here since then. If you have minimum or no skill and when it comes to tools, this is a great place to learn. It's definitely going to help you out on the long run in life, in particular if you decide to go into remodeling houses, or you're working on a house or working on a car or something like that, knowing how to handle the tools. And you will definitely learn those skills here or any kind of manufacturing, versus if you are working in the administration, you're more hands-on computers, although computers are a big thing today, but we definitely need people in the manufacturing. People come in with no skills, but man, seeing them grow to what they can do, one of the best trim carpenters, that is awesome. That means we did our job to train them in what we're doing. Seeing the different nationalities, personalities, and it's just from all over, learning new things. So definitely working around people is something that's enjoyable to do.
6 years ago, I actually moved to Florida and did carpentry as a hobby and was kind of looking for jobs at the time. And I actually knew someone who had a friend that worked here at Teakdecking Systems, and they offered to take me along. They had to come pick something up. And since carpentry was something I already had interest in, when I came into the facility, I was kind of just wowed by the space and what was going on. And I had brought my resume just to see what was going on, and I ended up with an interview, and I started on the production floor here and started with building decks and kind of worked my way through the shop and the different departments. And then after that, I started doing the production coordination position. It's a different mentality. You know, we have to work to a schedule, especially doing the scheduling coordination. We're working to a schedule, but it also kind of gives you a different sort of work ethic. You know, we're all working to this common goal. And at a place like Teakdecking Systems, it is manufacturing, but it's not your traditional sense of cogs and machinery parts getting put on. What we do here is actually custom carpentry, and it's a form of artwork that we're doing. So it really, you know, kind of gives you this different sense of what manufacturing can be, because it's just a different style of manufacturing. You know, there's cabinet companies that do carpentry, but that's a lot different than the kind of carpentry that we're really doing here. I think that the trades are a really important industry, and I wish that more focus was put on that. You know, in high school, when I was in high school, there was a lot more focus driven on just, you know, got to go to college and pick an education path that you want. But the trades are invaluable, and there's so much that you can learn and so much that you can expand on, especially in an industry like this, where it kind of opens up so many other paths for you. Especially in our facility here, manufacturing is much more than an assembly line process. We've got different departments that are all doing different functions, and it's a very versatile environment. Even though the process here might be the same, everything we're doing is different. And boat by boat, deck by deck, the process, the system, the steps 1 through 10 are all the same steps, but the path you have to take is always going to be different, because again, it's a more artistic form. It's the manufacturing process, but the way that we have to do things here is really, it's a lot different and a lot more versatile.
Well, I've been in my job here for about 19 years, so that means that most of the people watching this video were not even born when I started here. So I've got, in your eyes, I've got a lot of experience here. The main part of my job is to go and get the teak wood that we use for our manufacturing process here. Teak grows in Southeast Asia, and it gets cut down and processed in sawmills by local people there. We go, we inspect the wood, we buy the quantities and the quality we need, and we bring it here so that our carpenters have what they need to use. My career's had kind of an interesting path. After high school, I went to college, and I have a bachelor's degree in forestry, and I was interested in international affairs and forestry and how that put together. But I built houses for a while, which was really exciting. I think I've always had a desire to build something with my own two hands and make a product. I think it's true that the impression of manufacturing for a lot of people is that you show up in the morning, you stand in front of an assembly line and you push a bunch of buttons and watch a machine do its work, and then you go home at night and watch TV and you kind of say, hey, that YouTuber guy over there is making $1 million and I'm making so much per hour, you know, doing my boring job. But something really, I think, very interesting happened about 40 years ago. There was a concept that came over from Japan that entered the manufacturing world, and it said, manufacturing is really about continuous improvement. And the concept of continuous improvement, it guides anyone who comes to manufacturing jobs. If you come just with your body to push buttons or to watch parts go by in an assembly line, then yeah, it's probably a boring job. I wouldn't recommend it. But that's not really what manufacturing is all about today. Not only, like I said, the sustainability aspect, we need to make positive changes, but the idea of continuous improvement, that affects not only what you're doing every day in your manufacturing facility, but it also affects your whole life. So if you come to manufacturing, don't just bring your body and your finger to push a button. You know, you need your brain, you need your heart, you need to believe in the passion of you can make a positive difference. Here at Teakdecking Systems, we're a big enough company to have an impact around the world in our industry, but we're also a small enough company that you can have different roles within the company, and you can see where you can grow, you can make a difference, you can make the positive changes. If you feel like you need to change what something is being done and the way something is being done, then we need you. We need you in manufacturing. We don't need you on YouTube, we need you here.